Welcome to Mrs. Jager's Book Nook. Today I'm going to read you the story, The Lion Inside, and we're going to take a look at these two characters and see how they might feel differently about themselves. Like you might think that there's something that you would wish would be different, but really it is a quality that makes you special. So each of these characters has a quality that they think, oh, I don't know about this, but it actually makes them special and they're better together. So let's get reading. The Lion Inside. In a dry, dusty place where the sand sparkled gold stood a mighty flat rock, all craggy and old. And under that rock, in a tiny full house, lived the smallest, quietest, meekest brown mouse. He was so very tiny, so incredibly small, that nobody noticed him, ever, at all. He got stepped on. Ow! He missed out on stuff, ignored and forgotten. Ouch! This mouse life was tough. Meanwhile, far above, on top of the rock, times were quite different. It was Lion O'Clock. This huge, toothy creature made sure everyone saw how important he was by how loud he could roar. He was head of the pack. He was shouty and proud. He loved flexing his biceps and wowing the crowd. Yes, all were impressed by this mighty king cat. If only, thought Mouse, I could be more like that. There's Mouse. He wants to be like Lion. Then late one night in his tiny mouse bed, the cleverest thought popped into his head. He leapt up in the darkness and held up a paw. I've got it, he said. What I need is a roar. I mean, what if this mouse were the weeniest squeak were a little more grr and a little less meek? Well, he'd still be the smallest of fuzzy brown mice, but he'd make friends and join in, and life would be nice. See, there he is trying to be grrr. Here he is. He's imagining that all of the animals would be his friend just because he could roar. Yes, thought the mouse, I must find out how. I will learn how to roar, and I will learn it now. But it wouldn't be easy. There was only one beast who could teach him this thing, but might make him a feast. It was time to be strong, take a chance, after all. Forever was such a long time to feel small. So here he is in his house, looking up way high to the top of the rock. Because that's where the lion is, right? So he made himself brave. He thought, like a winner, he'd set off for the top, hoping not to be dinner. It felt like the scariest thing he could do. But if you want things to change, you first have to change you. The further he climbed, the closer he got to the slumbering lion reclining on top. Then at last, as he stood on his tippy toes, he found himself suddenly nose to nose. Look. No, pardon me. Wake up, Mr. Lion. You've got company. Squeak, Mr. Lion. What I've come to you for is squeak. Do you think you could teach me to roar? Oh my goodness, look. A silence befell that twinkling plain. Lion opened his eyes and puffed out his mane. Time went so slowly it felt like a week. Then he opened his mouth and let out a eek! Who's frightened, the mouse or the lion? The lion curled up in a pitiful ball. He didn't like this, not one bit at all. Don't hurt me, he whimpered. Oh, try to be nice. Well, this mighty great lion was afraid of mice. Don't worry, Mouse Peep. I'm here as a friend. Let's hang out together. Be pals to the end. That was a magical moment for sure, when the mouse didn't feel at all small anymore. He had found his true voice and learned to speak out, and for that you don't need to roar or to shout. And from that day and always, the two were a pair. They both liked that rock better, now that that rock was to share. The mouse, while still little, felt big in his head, and Lion, he still roared, but with laughter instead. The mouse must be telling a really good joke. Yes, that day they both learned that no matter your size, we all have a mouse and a lion inside. So the moral of the story is that you can be a little friend, right? Can still be a great friend, even though they're not little. So even though you might be small, that doesn't mean that you can't be brave and stand up and try to change. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this book here on Mrs. Jager's Book Nook. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can get all the newest videos as they come out.